Hello, dear friends. This topic is so powerful that it leaves speechless those who say nothing ever happens. Opinion piece: Epstein Revolution, Endgame, Revelations, Digital Rate, Domino Days, Political Chaos, Wall of Receipts, Public Exposure, Age of the Warrior, Wave of Relations, Cockroaches in Panic, Collective Transmutation, Saturn doesn't like change, 12 resignations in 6 countries. Let's start. The world is witnessing an unprecedented wave of revelations exposing powerful leaders, wealthy elites, and institutions long considered untouchable. 3 million pages have led to 12 resignations in 6 countries in the first week. The Epstein files are not only revealing names, but they are bringing down governments. 6 countries are in political crisis in just 14 days. The New York Times deployed 24 journalists to study the files. The stacks of pages reach the top of the Empire State Building. The Epstein files have shocked the world, revealing the scale of corruption. Trust in governments, institutions, and leaders is eroding as these revelations reach the public. Fear is spreading as people realize that corruption reaches the highest levels. This is the greatest political exposure in modern history, and we are only seeing the beginning. The world they built is crumbling. The lights have just come on, and the cockroaches are already running, according to Mr. Poole. The machine is collapsing in real time, and neither lawyers nor the media, not billions of dollars, nor even silence can stop it. The machine that operated in silence is drowning in the sunlight. Every name, every flight, every payment, everything is coming out of the shadows. Gold. There is nowhere left to hide. Hidden cameras prove the blackmail. Files prove who was involved. Testimony will prove who lied. The next fall will be devastating. Central banks around the world are removing gold from US and UK vaults at a historic and hysterical rate. India repatriated 280 tons of gold from London. Germany withdrew 674 tons from New York. The Netherlands secretly moved 122 tons home. Poland repatriated 100 tons. China has been buying more than 300 tons annually for 80 months. The global chaos and the exposure of hidden sins are not random. They are prophetic signs. They indicate that humanity is approaching the period described in prophecy, when deception will reach its peak and a false leader will emerge offering to solve this problem and bring a false peace and security to the world. The veil is being lifted so that people can see clearly. These relations are painful, but they are also an invitation to sharpen discernment and prepare for the challenges ahead. Audit. What happened to the Fort Knox gold audit? Mr. Poole asks. President Trump announced the audit. Elon Musk offered to film it live. Then Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent made a vague statement and the story vanished. Why? Because the gold isn't there. It's being used to back the quantum financial system. They don't want you to know that the old system is dead. The IMF held a meeting on February 8th titled Resetting International Trade and Financial Systems. The dollar is depreciating. The SWIFT system will be replaced by ISO 20022 on February 22nd. This is not a drill. This is the global monetary reset. While you are distracted by fake news, the real news is happening behind the scenes. In Bibb County, 8 people are appearing in court for an abuse ring connected to underground bunker. The perpetrators are being acquitted. The innocent are being rescued. This is not a conspiracy theory. It is happening now. This is the plan. It's all connected. Gold backs the QFS. It's all happening. They can't stop it. The storm is here. Political trap. Attorney General Pam Bondi just set the biggest trap in political history, and Congress fell for it. It seemed like a normal oversight hearing with routine questions. Then she pulled out a document and the room felt silent. The Department of Justice gave Congress access to unsearched Epstein files this week. Each member had their own account, their own computer, and their own session. They entered the hearing thinking they were in control. They left knowing that Bondi had it all. Every search, every name, every cover-up attempt lost, documented and weaponized. The hunter became the hunted, and they did it to themselves. Everything was recorded, and the panic was instantaneous. Representative Jayapal called it spying on members of Congress. Representative Raskin accused Bondi of abuse of power, and Representative Moscovitz said it was suspicious and inappropriate. They are furious. Why are they so scared of the such history? If you are looking for evidence of crimes against innocent people, you would be proud of that history, unless you weren't looking for evidence or unless you were searching for your own name. Bondi didn't just release the files. She released them on monitored computers. All the members of Congress who rushed to search for them told the Justice Department who they are trying to protect, which names concern them, and what connections they are trying to verify. Those searching for flights to the island are investigators. Those searching for specific names are protectors. Bondi now knows who is investigating and who is covering up, and she demonstrated this on camera with a smile. While Congress panicked over his such history, they shut down the Department of Human Services on Saturday, and Democrats blocked the funding bill. Are they refusing to fund the Department of Investigating Human Trafficking to stop the investigation? Wall of receipts. While they panic, everything is being revealed. Every federal agency is required to justify every dollar they spend in real time. AI tracks every contract, every grant, and every loan. Can't justify it in 30 days? DOGE cuts it. On Wednesday, February 11th, the federal government activated the most dangerous weapon ever used against corruption, the wall of receipts. All federal agencies are now required to provide real-time accounting of every dollar spent, every contract, every grant, every loan, and every hour of work. Everything is tracked by artificial intelligence and is visible to the public. Every government transaction now requires written justification from the authorizing official. If they cannot justify the expenditure within 30 days, it triggers an automatic red flag, and the funds are frozen. No more hidden places or classified budgets for office furniture. More than $100 billion in unnecessary spending has already been identified, and 31 consulting contracts were cancelled at once. For the first time in history, artificial intelligence is tracking taxes, and the swamp can no longer be hidden. Elon Musk put it plainly, in quotes, "We have 1000% chance of going bankrupt as a country." The math doesn't lie. Those teams are now embedded in every federal agency. A planned 22.6% cut in non-defense spending is looming. The swamp didn't just squander public money. It built an empire on taxes, and no one saw it until now. That changes everything. For the first time ever, every dollar is tracked in real time. AI automatically detects suspicious spending, and the public can see where their money is going. Bureaucrats must justify every expenditure, and those can cut funding without Congress. This is what draining the swamp really looks like. It's not speeches, it's not promises, it is a digital rate that catches everything. The deadline is July 4th, 2026. By Independence Day, this system will be codified in federal law. They have 5 months to hide, and the AI has 5 months to find everything, but AI is faster. Receipts don't lie, and the swamp is exposed. Breaking news. The Great Davos Reset is a thing of the past, and the Great Backlash is already here. The author of the 12 disinformations list resigns after the release of the Epstein files. The files reveal that Epstein bought 1,330 liters of sulfuric acid to dissolve corpses. Jeffrey Epstein gave his victims a warning. In quotes, "We have the government and we have the banks, which means you can try to sue me, but nothing will ever happen." Gates and Epstein bought science to control scientific discourse, according to the defenders. Martin Armstrong and Tom Luongo describe the image they present of the globalist elite, gripped by panic as the old world order crumbles before a new power dynamic. Obama awarded Bill Gates the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2016, highlighting his work with women and children in quotes. They keep saying they have seen Epstein's list and that the names will shock the world. They keep hinting that they could expose everything. What's stopping them? Asks Terence Williams. Astrology. Saturn doesn't like change. It prefers its foundations to remain firm. So, as Saturn enters areas, you may feel resistance, fear, and in some cases, despair. Friday, February 13th, 2026 marked a historic turning point. Saturn entered Aries, signaling the beginning of what many call the Age of the Warrior. This is not a smooth transition. It's a line drawn between who you were and who you must become. Hesitancy ends with Saturn's departure from Pisces and entry into fire, and action becomes non-negotiable. Planetary Parade. On February 28, 2026, 6 planets will appear aligned in the sky. The alignment includes Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. 4 of them should be visible to the naked eye shortly after sunset. USA. US changes strategy to target drug cartels and focuses on cryptocurrencies. Trump revokes the official doctrine of glacial warming in quotes. US seizes 134 acres in Texas used by a Mexican cartel. The US will deploy 200 troops to Nigeria to destroy those who kill Christians. The aircraft carrier Gerald Ford has been ordered to move from Venezuela to the Iranian coast. China is secretly sending its strategic stealth radar system to Iran. Israel believes Tehran is trying to buy time in negotiations with Washington and that the probability of reaching an agreement is very low. Europe. Militarism is increasingly sinking Europe. Starmer's chief of staff resigns amid the Epstein Papers scandal. The British Parliament votes against investigating child rape. Unbelievable. The European Ariane 6 rocket launches 32 satellites into orbit for Amazon's Leo network. Or Leo. Spain. The 9th storm of the year hit Spain. Storm Oriana alert with winds of 100 km per hour, rain and snow. Endesa believes the electricity grid did not act quickly enough in response to the risk warnings. Morocco spied on Sanchez's mobile phone with the Pegasus software for more than a year. Sanchez loses in court the banner that labeled him corrupt because it was political criticism. Americas. In the new Monroe Doctrine, the American continent is strategic for U.S. prosperity. The U.S. deployed a laser weapon near the El Paso airport. Peru has geopolitical potential that attracts Washington's interest. Tensions are rising between Ecuador and Colombia. Delcy Rodriguez threatens Maria Corina Machado if she returns to Venezuela. Cuba is closing schools and hospitals. Planes are running out of fuel. It's only a matter of time before the country collapses. Díaz-Canel thanks Sheinbaum for sending humanitarian aid to Cuba. Boric faces his last month in office mired in tensions with the opposition. Milei continues his legislative agenda toward the juvenile criminal law. The Argentine Chamber of Deputies ratifies the Mercosur-EU agreement. The Argentine Senate approved Milei's controversial labor reform amid violent protests. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.